Welcome to our drain versus not drain experiment number 2. We just did this experiment to see which cooler would keep ice the longest. The one that we drain, I call a strawberry cooler because that's strawberry milk, or the one that we don't drain, which I call chocolate cooler because we have chocolate milk in there. And I firmly believe after the last experiment that you don't want to drain the cooler if your goal is to keep ice and keep cold. I firmly believe that. Now, if you have vegetables in a cooler, yeah, you want to drain it. Obviously, you don't want a swamp full of veggies in your cooler. But if it's just beer, don't you want to have your beer last longer? And when you really think about it, what do you want more, beer or veggies? Right? I'm not going to say which one's better or which one you want. I'm just saying it would be nice to know whether draining or not draining makes a difference in keeping the cold around longer. So I did this little diagram just talking about a little bit more some of the theory. And people that know science, throw around science words, there's two schools of thought with those people. One, this water right here, I'm going to claim has a big benefit because it holds thermal mass. It's water that's at 32 degrees because it's next to ice. They're in equilibrium together, close to equilibrium. That is 32 degree water and it can absorb some of the heat. Where if you remove that water, like all of the heat that enters the cooler goes right to the ice and keeps melting it. So you want the thermal mass of the ice. Now, some people believe that since the thermal conductivity of the water is higher than air, that this ice will the heat will transfer faster from outside the cooler to the ice. There is an effect there. I just believe it's very, very, very small compared to the benefit of the thermal mass of the water. That's really the debate amongst people that know some science. So we have two coolers again, and we did this experiment already. You can watch the previous videos. I feel pretty strongly from doing that experiment that by keeping the water in the cooler, by not draining it, it's going to stay colder longer and keep the ice longer. I firmly believe that, 100%. But there's still some doubters because I wasn't there at the exact moment. I had to go away for a few days that the ice melted. So what we did, we bought some temperature sensors that attached to Bluetooth on our phones. They're in there right now. We're measuring the temperatures. I can share with you. I'll share with you now what it's at now. The strawberry milk, the one that shouldn't keep ice as long, in my theory, in my opinion, is a little bit cooler. You'll see. It has a head start. Maybe there's a little more ice in there. Maybe it's colder ice, but it has a little bit of a head start. So I'm giving it a little bit of an advantage, as you'll see in the thing I share somewhere on the screen. I'll get a clip from where we're at right now. We also have some sensors, some little thermometers in there to measure water temperature, just because we're curious when the water melts. So anyway, we're going to do this experiment again. We're really excited about it. We hope you join along. Now, if you want to see, first of all, comment. If you think this is ridiculous, I'm a moron, hey, I'm used to those comments. So add those in. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why in the real world water swishes around in the ice and the friction melts it. I'm not buying that one. But you can tell me. I mean, we'll do that experiment later. Literally, this one is just, does ice last longer in a drain versus not drain cooler? But anyway, leave comments down there below. That would be great. We're going to try to almost daily post the temperature sensor readouts on Instagram. Now, this is not a cheap way to get you to follow us on Instagram, although I wouldn't mind if you followed us on Instagram. I'd actually be stoked if you did. But it's the easiest way for us to communicate on a regular basis what the temperature is in the coolers. And as a reminder, strawberry, which is this one, is the one we're going to drain every day. Chocolate is this one, the one that we're not going to drain. So that's it. As always, if you have questions, comments, add them in the comment section below. And the next video that I'll put out in a couple days will probably be right here behind my hands. Again, it won't be there for a few days, but if you're watching this in the future, in a long time from now, you'll see it right there.